Hi, it's your favorite type of rock candy, rhinoCRUNCH, here today. We're going to be doing the build video as promised. I told you guys a few videos ago that I was working on this, and I hope this helps some of you. Before we get into the video though, guys, if we can get this video up to 143 likes, I can hook you guys up with some keys in the next video. I hope this helps some of you guys. Let's get into it. Before we get into the video, really quickly, what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you a basic design, and then I'm going to give you a tour of the two advanced designs, with this being the duo version of the build I'm about to do, and this being the squad version. And we're in the PvE mode just because it's easier to use resources and just get these builds done. So let's go over here. This looks like a good spot. And this is something I was working on. Now you guys are going to recognize this. Actually, we'll go with metal. Keep an eye on the resources. We'll have a resource count at the end. This is gonna be like a moderate building. We're not gonna go too crazy with it. This is just for solos. This is the tower that, basically it's just a modified version of the tower that you guys probably see me build all the time. And there's a couple new features to it, couple modifications I want to show you guys, and I'll explain why I'm changing it and all that. So let's just get into it. So we're in the end zone of Battle Royale. There's 2 circles left, and we need to build a tower. So the first thing most people do, myself included, is come in and just build the 1x1 instantly. Now what we're going to do this time is we're also going to put a floor down. The reason we're putting a floor down is because if someone tries to destroy the base to make us fall, they're going to have to destroy all 4 walls as well as these stairs. Now sometimes if I'm really panicky, what I like to do is I like to just throw these stairs out, which is a really great way just to get something down so you're not, if someone's shooting at you or someone's chasing you. But take the time if you can. I know it's hard in the angst of battle trying to get these, trying to get this stuff down. Also, a little quick tip, it's really good to let this stuff build and just kind of use it to your advantage and peek and kind of see what's going on. Don't expose yourself, because if you expose yourself, people are just going to shoot at it, and then you're going to be constantly trying to repair it to get it down. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to go 3 high on this. The reason we're going 3 high is because it's the highest you can go without taking fall damage. So we're actually going to build up 2 more layers, but this is going to be our base layer. Now normally what you guys see is this is, you throw these stairs down right off the bat, and I'm going to put that down. Now we need these corner pieces. These corner pieces are kind of tricky, but I'm going to show you how to do them. Basically it's just the roof piece right here. What you do is you press G to edit, and then you pick 2 corners. Doesn't matter which 2 corners they are, but just make sure they're selected by left clicking. You can also hold, if you need to, you can hold the left click, and you want to pick these 2 corners so you see like this kind of paper swan looking thing right here, and then you press G again, and then we have our corner pieces. And these are extremely useful for a couple of reasons. One, it covers this gap that we have right here, which if you're standing right here, people can shoot at you from this angle, and if you're standing right here, people can shoot at you from, you're exposed basically. It just covers that area that's exposed up, but also you can actually use this to go down and you're not going to take damage. If I jump down from there, even though we are 3 high right now, we wouldn't take damage anyways, but this will actually bring you down to the 3rd level, so you don't need to build stairs down. It's kind of a quick exit. Now as you can see, we used about 250 metal, which is not a lot. Now a lot of people would say, alright, that's it, I'm done, here's my base, but we're going to take it 1 step further, and I'm just going to kind of explain why. We want to go up 2 more levels. And to get there, we're going to do this. We're going to leave this open. One of the reasons we're going to leave this open is because we're going to want to use one of these traps. Hopefully by the end game you have one of these traps. This is kind of what I like to call like the ringer trap. If someone builds up into your base, they're going to hear this trap and they're going to be able to spot it without getting hit, right? This is the one that's kind of going to trick them into like, okay, there's the trap. But the trap that's going to hit them, hopefully, is going to be the side trap. You're going to put it on one of these sides here. So as they're passing by, they're like, oh, there's the trap. We don't need to worry about that. Boom, they get zapped by this one, right? All right, let's go up here. We're actually not going to use this. It's usable, but it's not, if that makes sense. Like we're not going to be hanging out up here. This is kind of just an additional auxiliary if we get built up to. But I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do here. The reason we're doing this, we're building this extra layer, is we want to place another stairwell here, but we want to place it like this. We want to place one like this. It's kind of tricky on that one. I want to place one like that. And we're going to leave this side exposed. Now there's a couple reasons we're doing this. And as you can see, we're getting up there in resources. We're about 300. Still not a lot. You can get about 500 pretty easily. The biggest reason we're doing this is it's backdrop. It's backdrop for other towers. So for example, let's say that there was someone on the top of this tower right here. They weren't in the inside right here, but they're on top of the tower. If they were to peek their head over the tower, what do you think it'd be easier for you to shoot? Would it be easier for you to shoot them if you could just see their head, their silhouette? Or if you had to actually see their silhouette against the backdrop? So you kind of have to discern their head from the back of the area they're in. It's the same concept with this. When you peek, the only thing that's peeking is not your head, the silhouette of your head, which makes it an easier target. You actually have a little bit of a backdrop so that it's harder for them to get the headshot. So that's why we built these stairs out. Another reason we built these stairs up is a lot of people put effort into building against people hitting their base from the outside, right? So it's really easy for us to defend this base. If someone was to run up against this base, we're good. But if someone actually builds into the base, which is what happens most of the time, people, when they attack your base, you're fighting from within the base. You're going to want an area that you can fall back to. Being able to get up on that extra level and being able to use this to your advantage to shoot down on them, you're still going to retain that high ground, and you'll even have areas to hide in back here. So you're gonna want to fight from this area. You're not gonna want to fight from the top. So when they build up into it, they're not actually building up to the top layer, if that kind of makes sense. They're building up to this layer that we're at right now, so that we can fall back to this level and then fight them from here. Now there's pros and cons to this build. One of the biggest cons to this build is it is a little bit resource intensive. We're talking about 350 metal, which you're going to have to farm in early game. If you're getting a lot of kills, that's nothing. You're going to be at 500 to 1,000 by the end of the match anyways. But the biggest con, aside from the resources, is you are blind as to what's going on your base. So if someone's creeping on your base, you're not going to be able to see them, right? You're not going to be able to get the angle on them. But there's a little fix for that, and I'm going to show you exactly how right now. If you see here, this is a half completed watchtower right here, basically. For the duo version, for this version right here and the squad version, I completed it. But this is something that I worked on in between building the duo and the squad one. So basically, works like this. Here, let's just finish all of these. This tower's kind of in our way. It's alright though. Oh, it's not going to let us build on this one. Okay, you get the idea if we put another tower here. Alright, we'll work off these two. So, aside from, having more additional cover to defend against the base if people are creeping on it, you're going to be able to peek all the corners. Every single corner will be available to you. Every single side of the wall, so there will be literally... Oh my gosh, there's a chest right here. What the heck? I didn't even know there's a chest. This is the home base PvE. What do we got? Holy crap, a ray gun! Gosh, I wish they'd add this back into the... where is it? Was it a schematic or was it the actual gun? Oh no, it was the gun. I wish they'd add this back into the... the Battle Royale. This thing's awesome. Wow, durability is low already. How many shots do we get out of this thing? Oh, it's not that low. Yeah, this is a cool gun. Anyways, all right, back to the build. Sorry, get a little sidetracked here. So you'll be able to defend against all sides. Most people don't do that. Actually, in duos and squads, they don't do that. They're really aggressive and they try to hit your base. But this is a great feature for solo builds because everyone's a little sneaky lurking lion trying to sneak up on your base. And it didn't take that many resources. It took about 411 exactly. 411 resources to build this. And this is an amazing tower. I mean, this is like, you know, these are so much fun to defend. And so let me, hopefully this helps some of you guys. Post in the comments if you helped, if you liked this tower. Make sure to like the video. But before we go, I want to show you the squad and the duo version of this. We're going to have to build down here because this is going to be a hard fall. Not too bad. And you can see this is also great for trying to build up to because it's really hard to get the depth. Like they can't just hit it like they can't just build straight up to it. They actually have to be really far away to be able to build up to it so that you get the right angle on it. It's not the prettiest looking tower, but it gets the job done. But you can see what I'm talking about. If someone was peeking their head, it's going to be a lot easier for me to shoot them if there's just their head versus this backdrop here. Especially this dark backdrop of the metal. Brick and wood, a little bit easier. Which, by the way, guys, don't build these towers in wood. They're just so easy to wreck them. It's so easy to wreck them, plus they can see you peeking and whatnot. Okay, so we're going to build up to this and see again. I'm going to have to build really far away just to get up here. I got to build all the way back here. So this is the duo version. This is a little bit different. Instead of putting the like watchtowers on the corner, I put them over here on the second level. And then I also put stairs going straight up. The reason I put stairs up like this is so that you can actually go between the top level and the bottom level. I also finished the little pits right here. The reason I finished the pits is the idea is everybody's kind of in their own area, their own side. Like say someone, you know, someone's defending on this side. Then if someone does build up, instead of being right here with us, you know, someone builds up, they get the vertical flank, they drop down, and guess what? Boom, they're in our base. There's still more. It's kind of like trench warfare. There's still more area to defend. Again, it's just thinking about the idea of defending from within the base. You know, not forgetting that 90% of the time you're fighting people in your base when they hit it. It's not them on the outside. It's them pushing into your base. So, and this is really great, being able to fall back between these two. And this was about the same amount of resources. It was a little bit more. I think it was about 650 resources. But if you're in duos between two people, that's nothing. And again, this was a sectional build. So this part was done first, and then I built the second part under the premise that you're already up here. There's no way to get up from the bottom other than building up. And you can even build like this section first, this first section, and then just kind of see where the circle is. Is it worth it to continue to build, or do you have to push out of the circle to go to the next circle? And then based off of where the final circle lands, you can gauge on whether you're going to continue to finish the next section. For the next building video, because I imagine in time we're all going to get better at doing this, and we're going to get faster, and we're going to come up with better designs. In time, I really want to find a solution for building onto this, but making it as good, as defensible as you have to go, because you have to travel, right? So it'd be nice to, this is the second to last circle, and then you find out, okay, the last circle we can build the second section, but then maybe, or not the last circle, the third to last circle you build this section, and then second to last circle you build this section. And then as the final circle comes in, or maybe you need to move, you build some kind of bridge that is as defensible as the tower itself, if that kind of makes sense. So you don't kind of abandon all of your work because you have to move because of the circle, if that kind of makes sense. So that's like 600 to 700 resources for that. And this is the squad version. This is what I like to call the ultimate sniper tower. It's a little much, okay? I'm going to go ahead and say I went a little overboard with it, all right? I don't care, man. It's awesome. And we're going to build up to it. Again, even just trying to gauge how do I build up to this, it's a little confusing because of the depth. So the last thing you want to be doing, by the way, it puts your opponent in a really vulnerable position, because he's like, okay, we got to build up to this. Let's try to fight this guy. Not only are you going to be returning fire from the top of this, but I mean, he's looking up in the sky. Like, look at the birds, man. Like, what am I doing up here? And there's other people on the ground that may be shooting at him. So it puts him in a vulnerable position of trying to figure out how to build up to your base when it's this far extended, like it is. I want to mention really quickly that this is a huge design flaw, only having one of these, because if you're in the final few circles and you're in a squad game, people are going to be hammering the bottom of this with rockets and grenades. So it almost might be worth it to just build something like this on the bottom, just as an additional layer of support. The only problem with this is you're not going to be able to build this because, I mean, you will, but it's going to have to be sectional. You can't build this at the end like I just did. You're going to have to build it at the beginning. So that's just something to keep in mind. But again, they have to take out 1, 2, 3, 4 walls, which is 2 rockets each. That's 8 rockets plus the stairs, because if the stairs are up, it'll keep the structural integrity up. So you're looking at 10 rockets in the middle of this thing. If you're up here shooting at them, it's just not. Even though it is a design flaw, I don't think you really have to worry about it that much. All right, let's build up to this. This should do. Yeah. Okay, so this is pretty much the same exact design. However, the difference is we have more space out here to play with, right? There's a lot more space. And also I forgot to put our stairs down, which it doesn't want to snap. Actually, we could probably let's try this. Here's a little trick too for those of you guys who don't know, maybe struggle with these stairs. You press G to edit, then you hold what type of stairs you want to build, and then you release it. So then it'll build that. And you can actually probably go like this just to get up, right? Yeah, that'll work. And so then again, this is the idea of you're defending from within inside the base. We're able to get up here, and then we have these pits again. We have this auxiliary layer to defend from. It's basically tower camper heaven, okay? That's basically what we're getting at. I forgot to put my my traps on the side. And this is, again, you know, a few months from now, after we get up to like 200 wins, 300 wins, 400 wins, we're probably going to have better designs implemented. And how did I do this? Let's see. We built like that, kind of. No, wait. Oh yeah, we just built on the side here. I don't know how. Oh, I see how. So it's kind of reversed on this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go like that. Correct? Yes. And then this is going to come to the left. And that's it. This is the ultimate sniper tower. I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to like it. We're going to get back to our regularly scheduled Battle Royale wins tomorrow. All right, dudes, before we go today, I'm going to read some Bible scriptures for you. I hope you don't take offense to that. Again, I encourage you guys to research the context of this. I'm going to put a link in the description and come up with your own understanding and your own conclusions. Don't take my word for it. Again, I'm not an authority. I'm not a preacher. I didn't go to school for this. I may be wrong in some of this stuff. I just speak from the heart, and I speak from my experiences with God and my experiences with the Bible and my experiences with the millions of miracles, well, not millions, but hundreds of miracles that I've witnessed in my life. And This is just my experience. I just would like to share with you guys if that's all right. And if you guys want to stick around and hear it, awesome. If you don't, I don't take it personally. I'll see you guys in the next episode. So let's get into it. This is Proverbs 3, 5 through 6. And this is, I hated this when I first, I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I first read this, I hated this verse. I absolutely hated this verse. And I'll tell you why. Let's read it and then we'll get into it. Proverbs 3, 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. So when I first heard this, I was a new Christian, and I didn't like the idea of trust. First of all, I have trust issues. I don't trust people. I mean, that's an issue that I've been working on my whole life, is trust issues. And you're telling me to trust somebody that I've never met, and not only that, but with all my heart, and not only that, I'm not even supposed to trust myself after that. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Now, I didn't like that. I don't like the idea of that when I first heard it. And it's hard. That's a hard thing to do. You know, I always hear people say, you know, I see comments, well, if God does this, then I ask God to do a miracle. Believing is seeing. Seeing isn't believing. Of course you would believe in God if he performed a miracle that you asked him to do, right? Of course, right? But I'm going to tell you something else. Maybe you wouldn't, because back in Jesus' days, he was doing miracles and people didn't believe it. I imagine it'd be the same thing today if someone were to walk around and start healing people on the street and speaking the message of Jesus Christ, performing miracles. They'd be like, he's a magician. That's not real. What kind of magic is he doing? So trust is not a physical, this trust and this belief and this faith, it's not a physical thing. This is a spiritual thing, and it's so hard to do this. This is extremely hard to do. And not only that, but then it says, in all your ways submit to him. Not in some of your ways submit to him. In all your ways. All your ways? Wait, can't I just do this? I really like to do this. No, in all your ways submit to him. Now, I don't want to give you guys this false idea of who I am, okay? I'm a sinner like everybody else. I'm not perfect. I'm working on not sinning, obviously, but I'm not perfect. So being able to try to submit to him in all my ways, this is a really difficult verse when you break it down. It's telling you to trust. It's telling you to not believe in yourself, like not lean on your own understanding. And then it's telling you to submit to God. So this is it's a hard bone to chew. I'm going to be honest. But the key to this is when you do this, when you do trust in God, when you do stop leaning on your own understanding, guess who's in control? You remember the guy who, created the universe in 6 days and all that good stuff? Master of the universe, master designer, creator. He's in control. You dingus aren't in control. Aaron dingus, rhino dingus isn't in control. I screw things up all the time. I can barely make lunch without messing something up, let alone try to manage my spiritual life and my plan for my family. So when you trust in God, you're trusting in the love and the peace of Jesus Christ, and you're trusting in he will lead you. He will lead your life. He will give you opportunity. He'll make your life easy. Jesus said, my yoke is easy. My yoke is easy. Once you're on my side, if you are for us, who can be against us? Then all this hard life, you don't need to live this hard life of going against God. You don't have to do that, because everything's hard. When you're against God, everything is hard. You're having hard relationships with your spouse. You're having hard relationships if you're single. You're having hard relationships at work. It's hard to get good opportunities. God, it's just everything. When you're not in order with God, when you're not trusting God, when you're not leaning on God, everything is a struggle. Everything. When you finally do submit, just submit to God's truth. Submit to Jesus' love and peace. It's easy. He is in control. It's basically like you're trying to drive. You're trying to drive this car, and you're on this road, and this road is just a wild ride. You're going left. You're going right. It's thrashing you everywhere. And finally you're like, Jesus, just take the wheel. Like, just take it. Like, I can't do this. I can't get through all this stuff without trusting in you. And there's not just the trust. There's a lean not on your own understanding. You may see a sharp turn coming up. You're like, oh no, Jesus, go left. But maybe Jesus goes right and he goes straight off the cliff. And you're like, oh no, we're going to die. And then Jesus pulls out a rocket and he sticks it on the side of the car. I mean, listen, this is my metaphor. I can go wherever I want with this metaphor. He's Jesus, okay? If he drives off a cliff, he can make a rocket appear and stick it on the side of the car, okay? So the idea is that you're not leaning on your own understanding and you are letting Jesus take the wheel and you're letting him lead your life and he's going to make the path straight. And I just hope that you guys get what I'm trying to say from this. And I love you guys. God loves you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace, dudes.